with me now in a word of prayer as we ask God for divine guidance and His continued support. Let us pray. God, we thank you for life, health, and we thank you for strength.
Everybody seems to think that DC public schools suck. Students at this rally in support of fired teachers disagree with that assessment. What do you think about DC public schools?
Yeah, I think they get a much worse rep than they actually are. Like, all these people are, like, I know from out of state, they tell me, like, how bad DCPS sounds, but it's actually not that bad.
Well, it depends on where you are. Thank you very much, because I went to another DCPS elementary school, not the choice experience. But after, like, some schools are good, some schools are bad, but that's the way it is in Virginia, that's the way it is in Maryland, so.
They're all getting better.
Every year Deal gets better. Every year Parent Tubman gets better. It's getting better. And so what the outsiders that say that DCPS isn't getting good are wrong.
Public schools versus private schools.
I mean, I'm sure if you went to private school, you'd think DCPS is bad too, but if you go to DCPS, you're used to it, and like all the people that people categorize as like bad, they're not bad.
Exactly. You get a certain amount of pride from it too. Like, you're able to go to a private school and say, I'm learning just as much as you are, and I go to public school. I'm not paying for it.
In some cases, you learn more in public school than I did in any years in my private school. Okay, I went to the world's worst private school, and now it's closed. It was Rock Creek International School, and it was pretty bad. Like, for 2 years, I didn't do any math, and I had no homework, which I didn't mind at the time, but when I got into 7th grade, I was kind of like, see, now everyone has a work ethic except me. And so I came in and I did really badly in my first semester of 7th grade, and I had to learn what everyone had been learning for the last 2 years.
Public smarts versus private smarts.
Well, you get like a certain sense of like social acclimation, I guess. Like, I know people that go to Sidwell and they're a little socially awkward when they come around kids that don't go there.
Like, a lot of DCPS schools are like racially diverse, and like of a lot of other places you don't get that, and especially because we're in DC, that's a big thing. And if you're not like used to that, that's an issue. Stupid. Yeah, that's just, what are you doing? Like, that's stupid.
Your cousins from like Alabama or wherever are like, oh my God, you go to public school in DC, and you're just like, yeah. Makes you feel cool.
And what about the teachers who were fired? Were they a part of the problem? EK, a student from McKinley Tech who is here in support of those fired teachers, certainly doesn't think so.
Winning this fight is going to take more than rallies. We need to contact our representatives and tell them to repeal these illegal acts we have witnessed and curtail the power of this educational dictatorship. But we can't stop there. We did contact lawyers, the ACLU, those gifted with the knowledge of the law to bring our plight under judicial review. But we can't stop there. We need to continue to rally support, because where there are few, the mighty can pretend blindness. Where there are many, tyranny can be effectively resisted. But together we can be the change we wish to see in the world. Thank you for your time today, and remember, united we shall stand, and divided we will fall.
This is Josh Rose Schmidt reporting for DC Visions.